Good Thursday evening to everyone out there. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse.
Yes, Sarah, it was a very nice start to the day. Very cool, very comfortable. May I say it, fresh?
Fresh, yeah, definitely. We finally have been patient enough. If you've been patient, we finally getting those fall-like temperatures. This morning, I woke up around 10 and I went out, and it was a comfortable walk coming from my dorm to the Love Building. I wasn't sweating, which is, I think, a good sign, and I'm happy about that.
I know we had dew points in the 50s, so you could tell that the moisture was basically gone from the air. Now, we did heat up rather quickly to the upper 80s today, but that front from last night, that's only the appetizer.
Yes.
We're expecting a bigger front this weekend, and that's like the main course for our weather story.
Yeah, we'll have your full forecast. We'll have 70s back up on the 7-day forecast.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the 70s. So.
Yeah, we also have homecoming on Saturday. Yes. We have the parade tomorrow, so a lot of events going on here at Florida State this weekend. But for now, let's send it off to the wall with Dylan with a look at our overview.
Thanks, guys. Well, here's that high pressure that's moved into our area behind this front, and that's given us our happier, for the H, conditions that we've seen today. So it's been much more pleasant today. In the sun, not as pleasant, but if you were in the shade, hey, I walked around campus. It was honestly very, very comfortable, starting to feel like those fall temperatures, and also feeling like fall. These dew points, we see lower dew points on our western regions. Farther east, though, you have a little bit more moisture, so you're not feeling those drier conditions. But here in Tallahassee, we're at 69-degree dew points, so feeling much, much better. For tonight's forecast, though, we're going to warm up just a little bit. That's due to these clouds not allowing the radiational cooling to stick around and cool us off just as much. So 70 degrees is our expected low for tonight. Calm wind, too, at 7 miles per hour, not going to really let us cool off that much. And coming up in today's show, we have the front keeping us a bit more comfortable. Honestly, it's been nice. If we can keep this up for a couple more days, it'd really be nice. But then we have our next front that's going to bring really, really cool temperatures for our area. And then we're going to have your full homecoming forecast, talk to you about different events and the football game this weekend against Wake Forest. AJ, you want to talk to us about the Southeast?
Yeah, let's go ahead and zoom things out a little bit and take a more broader look at what's going on around the Southeast. You can see a strong temperature gradient moving throughout much of North Florida. You can see temperatures in Montgomery, Alabama, right around 78 degrees, whereas here in Tallahassee looking at 87 degrees, Orlando looking at 86 degrees, Tampa looking at 91 degrees, whereas those in Atlanta 70 degrees, and Charleston at 68 degrees. Dew points showing much of the same here. You can see still relatively high dew points for much of the Sunshine State. Tallahassee and Jacksonville currently at 69 degree dew points. Orlando 70-degree dew point, whereas those of us up in Montgomery 53-degree dew point, so very comfortable temperatures up there. 49-degree dew point in Jackson, Mississippi, and look up there at Little Rock, 42-degree dew point. Those are very fall-like dew points for the Southeast currently. You can see here on our wind map where that stalled out front is. You can see all these winds coming out of the north. That is due to the high pressure system up to our north, bringing all of those winds from the north and off the coast to our east. That's what's keeping our dew points here in Florida on the relatively warmer side, whereas those of us to the north have those relatively lower dew points. Satellite radar here, you can see this is where that high pressure system is pretty much dominating the entire southeast, along with this pretty much stalled out front that's down through the part of central Florida. We're expecting the high pressure system to stick around into the weekend, keeping things mostly calm for our Friday, and then our next front will make its way into the area on Saturday evening. Futurecast here has a few clouds moving throughout the area this evening into the early morning hours of Friday, and then as we get into Friday afternoon, just a chance for a very stray shower or two moving across parts of Florida. But for those to our north, looking to remain mostly dry as we get into Friday. For tonight, across much of the southeast, temperatures well below average in Little Rock and Tupelo at 48 degrees. Temperatures remaining well above average, though, for us here in the Sunshine State, when temperatures easily getting into the 70s in New Orleans. Expecting temperatures in the upper 60s here in Tallahassee, 73 in Orlando, and 74 in Tampa. So very well above averages temperatures remaining for us here in Florida. Looking at tomorrow's forecast for the southeast, 86 degrees and just some stray showers and storms for those of you in New Orleans. 62 degrees in Little Rock with some more scattered showers and storms. 81 degrees in Jackson and Montgomery. 70 degrees, a very comfortable 70 degrees in Atlanta. And 87 degrees here in Tallahassee. 88 degrees in Orlando. And looking at 91 hot degrees once again in Tampa. I know that they set a couple records for warm temperatures earlier in the week, so we'll have to continue to keep an eye on that as we get into this next front that's hopefully coming through on Saturday evening. You want to talk a little bit more about that front, Sarah, with our first local look?
Yeah, definitely. So zooming into the Tallahassee area, we're starting to see those fall-like temperatures, especially in our lows. We did start off in the month of October, those warmer, above average temperatures, but then as we get through the rest of October, in the middle of it, starting to see those higher 60s dropping down into those 50s as well. So very pleasant mornings out there. Here's our almanac, still above average, but slowly dropping as we get in these cold fronts. 89 was a high today, and 68 was the low. Now, current conditions around the Big Bend are comfortable out, a little bit on the warmer side, but still I would prefer 87 over 89. 87 in Tallahassee right now. We can see Quincy, some of our western stations are popping back up. 84 in Quincy, and a little bit cooler over in Valdosta at 80 degrees. Now, these dew points are showing almost more drier air coming in through as that cold front moves through. So we have some dry air moving off into our western portion. 66 in Quincy, 69 in Tallahassee, a little bit more muggier in Perry at 72. But because we're having that dry air is because of these winds bringing in from the north. Before we had winds coming out from the south, bringing a lot of that moisture from the Gulf. But since that frontal system moved out, bringing in that high pressure system, moving in that clockwise motion, getting in those drier conditions, 7 miles per hour right now in Tallahassee. There's that high pressure system I was talking about, bringing in that clockwise motion as that front has now moved off through central Florida, but basically fizzling out by the time it gets over there. And then in front of me, I'm going to move over here. On top of me, we have this frontal system coming right here. This is going to be the big factor of what our temperatures are going to drop down into the 70s by this weekend. So this one's going to be the big factor, as Michael said. This was the appetizer. This is the entree, if you want to describe these frontal systems. So moving into the Tallahassee area, clear conditions right now for Tallahassee. Very pleasant conditions. I loved walking out this morning and seeing those cool-like temperatures. Didn't have that, it wasn't sweaty by the time I got to my classes. For Futurecast, though, we're going to see some clouds start to move off through, making it a little bit more muggy out as these clouds act kind of like a blanket for tonight. And then for Friday, that cloud cover will stick around for your morning. And then if you're heading out to the parade by the afternoon time, 3 o'clock, going to see a few possible stray sprinkles out and about, but I think this is a very low chance. But we're going to still see that cloud cover out and about. But for tonight, we're going to drop down to 70 degrees, a little bit warmer than we have been seeing because of that cloud cover, kind of acting like a lid to keep these temperatures not to cool down quickly. And then for tomorrow, we're going to bring up to 85 degrees, very pleasant out. I love 85 degrees instead of 89. But here's our 7-day forecast. You can see that big drop, almost a 10-degree difference onto the weekend as that big frontal system moves off through, bringing our temperatures down into those fall-like temps into the 70s. And then as we get into the next week, we're going to slowly increase our temperatures up, very slowly up into Thursday at 80 degrees. But to be honest, I take 80 over 90 degrees by far. But for now, I'm going to send things over to the desk where Michael and AJ are standing by.
Thank you, Sarah. And as we have alluded to earlier in the show, homecoming weekend here at Florida State. We've got a lot of festivities that will be going on throughout the weekend. And we're just going to break down some of the festivities that we have here around campus and what the weather is going to be like for those festivities.
Yeah, had a lot of festivities throughout the week. It continues tomorrow with the homecoming parade here at 2 p.m. On the Florida State campus.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be absolutely gorgeous for our Friday. Might have to dodge a little bit of rain as we get into Saturday and the game against Wake Forest, which begins at 3:30.
Yeah, that's the big event on Saturday. Again, Wake Forest, we play at Doak Campbell Stadium at 3:30. Might need some rain gear with it, and I specify rain gear because you can't bring umbrellas at Doak Campbell Stadium. And also, don't forget the clear bag policy as well.
Yep, and hopefully those showers should be mostly out of the area by the time the concert's going to get going, which usually they try and get that going about 30 minutes after the conclusion of the game. We've got Big Boy and T-Pain, so looks like it's going to be a gorgeous Friday, and after that front moves through on Saturday, Sunday's looking great as well.
Sunday's looking great. We have a 5K for the Marching Chiefs. And also, some of us here at FSU Weather, like Dylan and I, are heading out to the Pumpkin Patch on Sunday. So if you're not interested in the homecoming events, we also have a lot of pumpkin patches around our region. Just Google Tallahassee pumpkin patches and you'll get a list of pumpkin patches here locally. But for now, I'm going to take it out to the wall with our national forecast. And you can see, basically, we have two fronts once again. The first front is down towards Florida, just stalled out in central Florida. You can see warm conditions down towards Florida with 83 in Miami, 87 in Tallahassee. We have cooler conditions behind the first front up towards the northeast with 46 in Boston, 56 in D.C. Notice how it's warmer across the northern plains as well. That's ahead of the second cold front that Sarah was referring to earlier. That's going to be the big one for a lot of the eastern two-thirds of the country going into this weekend. Now the dew points, very high dew points, once again ahead of the first front down towards Florida. Usually it takes a little bit more time for those fronts to get all the way down towards southern Florida. But look at the very dry dew points in the northeast behind that first cold front. 13-degree dew point in Boston. That is chapstick dew point. Very dry air out towards Boston. Now up towards the northern plains, a little bit moisture surge ahead of the second cold front. So your dew points are up in the 40s in Minneapolis and Kansas City. And we still have some moisture to work with in Texas. We've been dealing with a lot of rain out there, and that's what our upper level water vapor, this is in the higher levels of the atmosphere, is showing. Still some moisture in Texas, fueling those flooding concerns in central Texas like Austin and San Antonio. Still have some moisture out towards the southeast, but it's drier compared to earlier in the week and much drier across the northern tier of the country. Again, here in Texas, we are still dealing with some flooding concerns with the rain out towards Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio. There's the first front down towards central Florida that gave some dry air here in Tallahassee. But this is the cold front that all of us are waiting for. 70s are going to be behind this cold front. That's going to move through Saturday evening and give us possibly some 40s in some locations of the southeast going into Monday morning. Now out towards Texas, again, we do have that rain and some flooding concerns with a flash flood watch here in dark green, and in light green, a flood warning in San Angelo. Up towards the northeast, you saw those cooler conditions behind the first front. In purple is a freeze warning, so expect a freeze if you're up there, and then frost in the light blue down towards D.C. and Baltimore. Now going into tonight's forecast, notice the cool conditions once again across the northeast. Warmer ahead of that second cold front in Minneapolis and Kansas City, and very warm conditions down towards Florida. And then tomorrow, warm conditions across the Gulf Coast, cooler across the northern tier, with the cooler conditions, the coldest conditions, staying out towards Billings and Minneapolis going into tomorrow. But for now, let's send off to Sarah with Florida.
Thanks, Michael. So Florida is slowly starting to see those fall-like temperatures, especially in the northern half of Florida. Jacksonville right now at 77 degrees. Tampa, though, unfortunately in the central Florida, still seeing those warm-like temperatures, 91 in Tampa. And then going down into Miami, 83 for Miami. Now, these dew points are showing drier conditions up northern in the Panhandle, but as we work our way down, still seeing those muggy conditions, almost like you're swimming through the air down there. A 69 in Tallahassee, 70 in Orlando, and then the muggiest spot, 73 in West Palm Beach. Now, our satellite radar, that cold front did fizzle out, so we do see sort of a few little lingering showers and storms up into the northern half, but overall, most of Florida is staying mostly clear. We're going to zoom into South Florida. There's a few stray showers moving off through onshore, but overall going to be staying very clear. Tomorrow's forecast for South Florida, 87 in West Palm Beach, 88 in Miami. But if you work our way west, Naples, the warm spot at 91. Now we're going to work our way up into central and northern part of Florida. There's those showers I was talking about moving off through, and that's why as we look at our tomorrow's forecast, they're a little bit more cooler temperatures. 81 on the coast. Usually the coast is always a little bit cooler. 81 in St. Augustine. Gainesville at 88. Live Oak at 88 as well. Now moving over to the Panhandle area, still staying, this is the most clear part of Florida actually. Panhandle is staying really clear, and then for tomorrow's forecast for the Panhandle, seeing 84 in Crestview, 85 in Mobile, and 86 in Panama City. So still seeing those like cooler temperatures as they work our way into tomorrow. Now for tonight, we're going to see those cooler like temperatures for tonight into the northern half. We're going to work our way down 68 in Pensacola, moving our way down into Tampa, a little bit more warmer at 74, and then down in the South Florida, seeing those 78s. Key West at 81. That's a little bit more muggy night for me down there. And then for tomorrow, we're going to see a little bit cooler temperatures in the north, 83 in Jacksonville, 87 in Tallahassee. But unfortunately, again, for Central Florida in Tampa, going to sit at 91. I know they've been breaking a lot of records in Central Florida. And moving our way down to the South Florida, 87 for West Palm Beach, 88 in Miami. So going to still seeing those warm-like temperatures as we wait for that big front to move off through. But for now, I'm going to hand things over with Dylan with our second local.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And as we take a look at our high temperatures the last couple of days, you can really see where Michael has moved through. Look at all these cooler temperatures. These are temperatures below 80 degrees in the blue. Look at all these cool ones. This due to the cloud cover ahead of Michael, then Michael itself, and then the cold front behind Michael, really making it feel cooler in terms of our high temperatures. But we've returned back to form early this week with 90-degree temperatures, and we're going to start to see those lower temperatures today. We hit 89 degrees, so slightly cooler, but it felt better because our dew point was much cooler, so it didn't feel as moist and muggy. Looking at our temperatures around the region, you have a bit more cloud cover eastward with a bit more moisture situated over there. Still feeling pretty nice, 80 degrees in Valdosta, 82 in Quincy. Honestly, these are pretty good temperatures for these time of year, but still above average nonetheless. And look at these winds all coming out of the northeast. And with this coming out of the northeast, you have drier air on the western part because it's coming from the continent, but on the eastern part, they're closer to the Atlantic, so it's bringing in a little bit more moisture from the Atlantic, and that's why you see these dew points over in Perry and Valdosta into the 70s, and in Quincy and Tallahassee into the 60s, and if Bainbridge was reporting data, you'd probably see about low to mid 60s for their dew points. So dew point is the temperature at which dew forms, and so with those lower dew points, you're honestly feeling less moisture in the air, and it feels much, much more pleasant. So definitely something to welcome, and that's due to this cold front that's moved its way down southward and high pressure moving into our area, just sitting there for a little bit, and then we got this bad boy, the next cold front that everyone's been talking about, really going to cool things off and start to feel those fall-like temperatures as everyone's been saying. Zooming into our radar, we have cloud cover eastward with that moisture, but still relatively clear. Not a cloud in sight when I went outside, so hey, not too bad. And then looking at our futurecast, we do have a bit more cloud cover coming back into our area, and then we have some cloud cover present tomorrow as well, more than today. And then you have really good conditions on Friday, not too bad. Rain chances are possible, but not very likely for Friday, so enjoy your homecoming festivities. And with that cloud cover tonight, you have warmer temperatures, and again, these winds are a little bit higher, so you're not going to have that radiational cooling, which is the Earth cooling as it sends up radiation and allows it to get those low temperatures we've been seeing, those 60s and 50s even last week. We're only going to get to 70 today, but that's still not bad, eh? You're going to wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock, that's usually, or 7:30, right before the sun rises, is when you have that low temperature. 70 degrees waking up. You might need a jacket depending on where you're from. I'm from South Florida, and honestly, waking up to 68 degrees this morning, I was a little chilly, and I almost had to pull out the jacket. And as we look at our 7-day forecast, you do have clearer conditions tomorrow, 85 degrees, so a little bit cooler, our low 70 degrees, but then the big bad boy, that big cold front, hey, Saturday, 50% chance of rain, so it is a trade-off. You got to get through some rainy weather before you get to these 75-degree highs, and that 62-degree low and that 50-degree low. So cooling down as that front moves in, we're really going to see our lows start to drop Monday morning. So you're going to start to feel the afternoon temperatures cool down a bit on Sunday, and then into Monday, you're going to start to see those lows drop as well, and then kind of returning back to form on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with those afternoon 20% chance of rain and a little bit warmer conditions. But right now, Sarah, we're going to talk about Utah's state of emergency that they issued today.
Yeah, definitely. The West right now is in an extreme drought, especially in the Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico area.
Yeah, they've been through that drought on the drought monitor that comes out every Thursday. They've really been in extreme drought for a really long time. Luckily, some tropical systems have moved in there and improved a little bit, but still not great.
It's not enough to make a big effect on that area. Water levels, 16 out of 49 of their major Utah reservoirs are below 20%.
I even saw some that were 5%. 8 of the reservoirs were below 5% full. That's insane amount of dry conditions.
Yeah, and it's going to be affecting tourism there. Also, the algae culture there. I read farmers are selling their livestock because their pastures are fizzling out. There's no, they can't. The roots can't seep into the soil because it's so dry.
Yeah, I even saw that every county in Utah is experiencing some level of drought. No county in that entire state is not issuing not part of a drought.
Yeah.
The Utah governor Gary Herbert issued a state of emergency due to that.
Yeah, that should raise a lot of eyebrows and be like, whoa, this is a serious situation over there, definitely. And they also are going into almost the driest year on record.
Yeah, definitely. The good thing about the state of emergency, it actually has a benefit. It allows farmers and communities to actually dig into a bit of state resources and federal resources to improve the drought.
Yeah, definitely. But also, we'll keep you up to date on that. But it's really sad that they're going through that,
They're also advising communities to conserve a little bit of water. It's not going to counteract the front, but it's the drought, but it will make some improvement where you're using less water when there's only so much water available.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see some kind of water factor go in there. I know they need a lot though to go off from the drought. But for now, we're going to head things over back to the wall with AJ.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, as we alluded to earlier in the show, plenty of homecoming festivities going on throughout the entire weekend. If you're not into that type of stuff, you can go ahead and head out to the res as well. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous on Friday. Looking at temperatures easily into the mid-80s, mostly sunny skies, and just a slight breeze out of the northeast, keeping things perfect to head out to the res. If you want to head out and play some golf on your Friday as well, perfect golf conditions as well. 8 a.m. looking at temperatures in the low 70s, getting up into the low 80s by noon, only getting up into the mid 80s, right around 84, 85 degrees by 3 p.m. So absolutely perfect day to head out and hit the links. Heading out to the Friday night block party. Once again, mostly clear and pleasant conditions are expected. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s for the Friday night block party, or if there's anything else that you wanted to head out to. I know we got the powwow and the pep rally going on Friday evening as well. Going to be an absolutely gorgeous Friday to get off our homecoming festivities going. FSU versus Wake Forest football game here. Temperatures will be a little bit on the warmer side with mid to upper 80s expected, and we'll have to dodge a few scattered showers and storms. But in retrospect, those showers and storms could cool off the stadium, which could ultimately be a good thing for us. Your 3-day weekend forecast here has 85 degrees for your Friday, 86 degrees for your Saturday with those scattered showers and storms. And then the big daddy that we've been talking about all show, that front will make its way through the region Saturday evening, cooling off our temperatures into a very comfortable 75 degrees for your Sunday. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous for your Sunday. Futurecast here starting on Friday at noon as those afternoon festivities get going. Has a very few scattered showers and storms passing through the region on Friday, and then just another few scattered showers and storms expected to make their way into the region Saturday during the football game. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and send things over to Michael with our final look at our local forecast.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. So we're going to take a look at our FSU live cam right now, looking over Doak Campbell Stadium. Beautiful sunset going right down into the stadium. So it is a really gorgeous evening out there. Current conditions across Tallahassee right now, 87 in Tallahassee. Was a warm one out there, but it didn't feel that bad because the humidity was lower behind that front. 80 in Thomasville and 81 in Thomasville and 80 in Valdosta. Now the dew points, it doesn't feel that bad outside because of these lower dew points. Lower dew points the further north and west you go. That's why it felt somewhat like fall, but wait for it. We're going to get a bigger blast of fall conditions going into the weekend. That's what our satellite and radar shows. The first front down towards central Florida, that gave us a little bit cooler and drier air. High pressure also helping us to give some cooler and drier air. But this is the front we've been talking about the entire show that is going to make it actually feel like fall for everyone in Tallahassee going into the weekend. So we are looking forward to Sunday definitely here. Now locally, we do have mostly sunny skies, and that's going to continue as we go into nighttime hours. There might be a little bit of fog going into the morning, but it's going to be a very nice morning out in Tallahassee. Tonight's forecast, 70 degrees, a little bit warmer with some clouds developing, and some fog possible in the morning, but still very comfortable outside with that east wind of 7 miles per hour. Going into tomorrow, mostly clear skies, 85 degrees. Very nice day out there for the homecoming parade in the afternoon here at FSU's campus. With the winds becoming a little bit southerly, that will increase the moisture ahead of that front moving through on Saturday. Again, for your day planner, we will start up with mostly sunny skies with 71. Maybe some fog in some locations is possible, but then we'll warm up very gradually into the middle 80s, ending up at 84 degrees at 4 p.m. Going into your 7-day forecast, again, we do have a slight chance of rain on Saturday, a 50% chance of rain. That's due to the cold front currently up in Canada. That will move down to our region. But look at the air behind that. 75 degrees on Sunday, 62 on Sunday morning with 50 on Monday morning. Again, we've been planning a pumpkin patch adventure on Sunday. Perfect timing in terms of that. So what do you think about the conditions on Sunday, Dylan and AJ?
Yeah, those temperatures look absolutely perfect. Perfect fall temperatures, finally getting into that fall spirit. I went home for the hurricane. I live up in Virginia, and we had temperatures in the low to mid 60s during there, and I'm like, wow, I can't wait till we get to experience some of this in Florida.
Honestly, I think we both missed out on the temperatures here because that cold front did move Michael out of our area. So there were some cooler temperatures after the storm. You got to experience it because you went to Virginia. I did not get to experience it because I went to South Florida, and South Florida is the land of always summer. So unfortunately, not seeing those cool conditions there.
Thankfully, once Sunday comes along, you will get to experience those perfect fall conditions. As you can see here on our 7-day forecast. After that, have to skirt those rain showers on Friday or on Saturday for the game. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are looking absolutely gorgeous.
Break out the sweaters, but also you're going to still need to have that rain jacket because look, we got still 30 and 20% chance of rain, but sweaters for 50 degrees and 70 degrees, perfect time to have your pumpkin spice latte.
My favorite part about all of that is that those lows in the 50s for Sunday evening. That means no humidity, no automatic sweat as soon as you walk outside.
Hey, our electricity bills gonna go down because you're not gonna need to cool your apartment off from those 95-degree temperatures.
Oh yeah, after September, my electricity bill was through the roof because we were hitting 90 degrees every single day.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a benefit for our electricity, so things are looking up. We're starting to see those cooler temperatures. It has been abnormally warm this season, so these are more welcome temperatures.
Yep, and as we talked about earlier in the show, just going to reiterate some of the events that we have going on this weekend for homecoming here around Florida State. Homecoming parade is tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah, with that, classes after 1:10 are canceled. You want to make sure with your professor, though, that they are canceled. But hey, if you want to take off Friday classes, it might be canceled. Just check in with your professor.
Yep, and Saturday's looking like temperatures are going to be on the cooler side than some of the earlier games we had this year, but might have to skirt that rain.
Yeah, remember the rain sweat jackets, not the rain umbrellas, because you're not going to be able to bring those into the stadium.
Pack your poncho.
That's
definitely be a useful one.
Yeah, but looking better, you can follow us on social media with those fall conditions at twitter.com/FSU weather.
And make sure to like us on Facebook. You'll get all of our social media posts, facebook.com/FSU weather.
You can also watch us live on YouTube, even though they went down a couple days ago. We're back, and YouTube's working perfectly fine.
And please, send us your photos on Instagram at FSU weather.
But from all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith.
And I'm student meteorologist AJ Willie.
Stay classy, Tallahassee.